In my last video, I talked about some of the quality of life improvements Star Rail has over Genshin. However, though maybe not quite as many, Genshin does have some positives over Star Rail, so this time I'm going to be talking about some of those. And to be honest, even though this list was shorter, it definitely is more quality over quantity. Before getting into it, if you like my videos and want to see more Genshin and Star Rail content, hit the like and subscribe button, it really helps me out. I also stream on Twitch a few days a week, and I'd love if you came to hang out when I'm live. With that out of the way, let's get started. As I mentioned, this is more of a quality over quantity list, as there weren't as many things I could readily come up with in Genshin's favor, but the ones I did I prefer a lot. So the first one is Condensed Resin. Even though daily gameplay in both games doesn't require a huge time commitment, whether you really can't play for those extra few minutes or your schedule prevents you from being able to log in at the same time every day, it's convenient to have a way of storing your resin to use later so it doesn't overcap and go to waste. You can only have 5 at a time, but even just having 1 day of breathing room is helpful. In Star Rail, your only option is to spend your stamina, and if you overcap, it just has to sit there. And maybe because it's still early days in Star Rail and I'm at a point in Genshin where resin isn't as incredibly important, but overcapping on stamina in Star Rail feels much more punishing. So it would be really nice if Star Rail also had a method of storing some of our excess stamina for use at a later time. That leads me to the next item on the list, which is kind of related, and that's resin-free weapon experience. In Genshin, you just have to mine ores and go to a blacksmith to craft weapon experience materials without having to use any resin at all. This can make building characters a little bit easier because you can kind of level the character and their weapon in tandem. You can spend your resin on XP and more ley lines, and then in between, mine the ores and go and craft the XP mats. In Star Rail, you need to spend stamina on both weapon experience and character experience, which makes you have to choose between the two, and with everything costing so many resources in the first place, having to spend basically double the stamina to level a character and their light cone hurts a lot. So when it comes to artifacts or relics, the grind in both games is horrendous, of course, we all know that. And in both games, there is a way that you can trade in your existing artifacts or relics for new ones. And in Star Rail, you can obtain an item to craft a relic and choose its main stat, which are very rare but pretty awesome even though you are still at the mercy of substat RNG. However, to craft a relic in Star Rail, whether you're choosing the main stat or not, it costs 10 5-star relics, whereas in Genshin, the artifact strongbox only requires you to trade 3 artifacts for a new one. This makes a huge difference in artifact farming efficiency, since at least you can recover a third of what you throw away in the hope of getting one good piece. So 10 for 1 in Star Rail is pretty steep, so Genshin definitely wins this one. So I know that was only 3 things, but this of course isn't an exhaustive list, and I just picked a few that I could think of right off the top of my head, but I wanted to give Genshin credit where it's due. Not everything is better in Star Rail, and of course there are things in both games that are lacking, but that's a totally different topic. So let me know what you think in the comments about either game. And be sure to check out my other video where I talk about Star Rail over Genshin quality of life, if you haven't already. As always, thank you so much for watching, like and subscribe for more videos to come, and I will see you next time.